Guys, I have the, again, just most embarrassing story,
It's pretty bad. We have a special announcement. Drum roll, please.
This is what happens, guys, when you don't listen to Jesus. Can I complain?
Yeah?
I want to complain.
Okay. You feel like complaining today?
I was like, something's wrong. I literally thought I was having a stroke. No, I'm being serious.
For real?
I miss the 90s and the early 2000s. I think about my childhood and Christmas. That's what people don't talk about. It's like, do you remember as a kid, you'd get in trouble when you didn't put the DVD back in the case?
I think traditions are something we need to bring back.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I'm tired of AI. You open up Instagram, you don't know what's true anymore.
Anything that is worth having is going to take time.
Don't watch other people's experiences and miss out on your experience.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get into everything we're about to announce is, guys, I have the, again, just most embarrassing story,
It's pretty bad.
most scariest story of my life. It is humiliating. You thought the LSAT story, me, if you remember the LSAT story, I just took my first final, and so
I think he topped his LSAT story.
yeah. So stay with us. About to go into some really cool things. So
Yeah.
I'll get into it in a sec.
If you are a fan of this podcast, then we have a special announcement. Drum roll, please. Okay. So my name's Janine. This is Caleb. And we have been doing this podcast together for the last, 3 years?
Yeah.
I mean, you came in when we were dating, and then we did engage, now married, and then a baby. And we've gone through a lot with you guys on this podcast. And since moving to Oklahoma, we know that the podcast has gone through some changes. And we want to...
Well, first, we've been in a limbo. The studios, we've just not have known where the direction of this podcast. Sometimes we do it together. We you'll have a guest on, you'll do a solo podcast. But it's, this isn't a politics podcast. It's not a sports podcast. It's not, only just Christian content podcasts. So we've kind of like tried to figure out, okay, what do we want to do with this? Because there's so many podcasts out there people can listen to.
100%.
And I think we have a couple of different elements of the podcast. We have you and I, that dynamic. We have your solo podcast. And we're like, what do we do with that moving forward, especially with how crazy our lives are?
Yeah, and we did put out a survey. We got a lot of y'all's feedback. We're still going through that. And thank you guys for submitting that feedback. That's been really helpful. But one thing that I never want to lose, because this is a Christian podcast and we are believers, is I never want to lose the advice aspect of the podcast. That's really what this podcast was built on. So there's been so many nights where Caleb and I would sit in bed and we were just like, what do we do with the podcast? What is the direction that we want to take it? And I've seen the feedback where you guys just love episodes of us just chit-chatting. You guys say these are your favorite episodes. And so we've thought, like, do we just start our own episodes? Do we start our own podcast? But then we're like, well, no, we've already built this amazing audience here on this platform. But then I didn't want to lose my faith-based episodes where I give you guys advice. And so I think we found the perfect happy middle, and this is what we're going to be doing. So you're not going to be losing the Tuesday episodes where we sit down, we chit chat. It's on YouTube. You'll still see us here every single Tuesday, and we'll get more into that here in a second. But in addition to that, every single Friday, I'm going to be dropping an audio only solo episode where it's just advice, it's girl chat, it's you and me sitting down, and you guys can still listen to me. It won't be video form just because that does take a lot longer, but I want to make sure that I'm still hitting that, still giving you guys advice. You're still hanging out with me. But then also, we wanted to still have episodes together and try to find a happy medium. And we hope you guys are excited about this as much as we are. I will let you guys know very soon when the official launch date is for that, just because we have to plan that out a little bit and let our team know. But we're really, really, really excited about it.
I think it's perfect because every single Friday, like, motivation, Janine,
Faith Fridays,
just getting after it. And I think something with audio only that's better is you can be more fiery. You can yell at people. And because, when you do a video, people take it too seriously or whatever. And I think you can really hone in on, and it's like, you don't have to worry about, lighting and and all these other things.
I don't have to get ready. I can just sit and bum it out.
And then regarding Tuesday, I think we would love your guys' feedback. But for Tuesday, we are going to take one of the rooms in our house and design a new podcast studio. We're not going to change it up completely, but I mean, we're going to change this up completely.
Yeah, we're struggling in here.
We want Tuesday. I mean, I think you and I will probably do it, 2 to 3 times a month.
Yeah.
And then maybe you bring on a guest.
Or I'll still do a solo here and there.
Yeah. For Tuesday, we are going to design a freaking sweet podcast studio. But we also we've said it so many times because I obviously came into your podcast and I've never wanted to just change what's going on. But the fun thing is with you and I on a podcast, it's own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's when we get on the podcast, it's like a radio show.
It's so fun.
You never know what we're going to say. It's impulsive. It's, it's random. It's its own thing. And I've almost been hey, maybe we should just you keep happy and healthy and you do your own podcast on Tuesdays and then we make a new name for a different podcast. But then we were just that's too complicated.
Yeah, and it'd be too much work.
And so I think we've come up with a good idea where you get the audio only, you still get the real faith-based, and we're still faith-based when
we'll
be
still talking about things here too.
But at the same time, I think you and I have such a dynamic that's so fun that there's no script when you and I come on, but I think we can get more. I think we want to come up with more of an idea of how we're going to handle our Tuesday podcast together, and make it fun for you guys. I still think we want to talk. I mean, politics is scary. Talking about pop culture and these things are scary, but we also
anything polarizing.
Yeah,
people, it could be a sticky situation, but that's also everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, I also think people need an alternative to entertainment, and we are a clean podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. It's if you want a podcast where you can trust that your 17-year-old or your 16-year-old or 19-year-old can listen to, it's they can listen to our podcast, and we're still going to talk about things going on in the world. It's we're not only just going to do 3 ways to do this XYZ. It's there are a lot of podcasts out there that do that. And I think that's what makes this podcast different is we're not afraid to kind of touch on some of these issues and really talk about it.
You know what's interesting is I feel like the podcast world is kind of taking a shift as well, where I've even seen people say and you guys have even said this to me, where sometimes you kind of don't want to be preached at anymore. You kind of just want to be able to sit down and turn your brain off and listen to something. And I think when I first started the podcast, this was the huge self-help era where we had psychologists and doctors and all these amazing people come on. And there's still a lot of people that do that. But I feel there's so many other amazing podcasts that is their niche.
They're experts.
They're experts in it. I'm not an expert in that. I really I want to be able to talk about things that I'm passionate about, that I love, but I don't feel that's my sphere. And I know we can bring guests on for that, but we've also seen the numbers and our podcast is not a specialty in that. I feel there's so many other amazing ones that are doing that. And so we're trying to find where is our strength, what's our lane, what differentiates us. And I think we're slowly but surely getting there. And the numbers don't lie. We see what you guys like and we see what you guys don't care for. And we're going to try to lean into that. And
we also live in Oklahoma. It's impossible. Really, the only guest we can really get on here is
Craig Rochelle. Which he is coming soon.
And
there's not a lot of people out here, I'm not going to lie. And being a mom and you being in law school, we're very limited on resources and I can't travel as much. And it's complicated,
Also, it's easier to have a co-host. It's easier to have someone to talk with.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you're doing you're by yourself, I think that's why audio only is perfect and it's more sustainable for you.
And I can yap, y'all.
Yeah.
There's so many things I can yap about. And don't hear me wrong. We are still 100% going to try to get guests. But again, with us having a little bit more limited resources, we're a little bit more stuck, but we want to make sure that when we do have guests, it's someone you really want to see.
Yeah. And we're not going to reveal everything with the new studio. We have some freaking fun ideas for Tuesday's podcast where it's it feels more like a show. It feels more every time you watch on Tuesday, Kaleb and Janine are going to do this or they're going to do that. And I think we want to we've talked about this a little bit too, and this is where I think you struggle with is, can I be honest?
Yeah.
The worst days in the Ward household are Mondays because
it's Tuesday nights.
It's Mondays because Monday night before we post.
Oh.
It's Monday night and Tuesday night, really.
Yeah.
And you didn't give me permission to say this, so I don't. If I need to stop, I can. But or we can cut it out. But Janine and I used to struggle with this, but Janine really struggles with the feedback on the podcast in the sense of you're really scared of not only disappointing people, but also what people say. Or like if we have a podcast where maybe you interrupted me too much, or you said something rude, or I said something rude, or someone says something mean about me, like it like literally has affected you so much to the point where I've had to ask the question, Janine, like if we're going to do this podcast and it's going to affect our marriage or it's going to affect us emotionally, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think that's something we should like talk about because I think that's why we've maybe steered away from really fully coming on here and saying what you fully believe about certain things.
Absolutely. I mean, I've even said this when I was on Danny's podcast, and she was like, "What's like something you struggle with that no one knows?" And I think my entire life, I don't know where it comes from. I think that's where maybe I need to sit with the Lord or get some help. I'm not really sure, but I've always struggled with like I think the people pleasing aspect and like the fear of man, and it really affects me if I see a comment like the other day, on the podcast where we did What Men Really Think. Like someone was like, "Oh, I just feel like Janine's belittling Kaleb this entire podcast." And in my mind, I'm like, no, I didn't. Did I belittle him? And then I replayed over and over and I'm like, did I? And I didn't mean to. And then it'll change the way I act on the next episode because I don't want anyone to think I'm like a bad wife. But then in my heart of hearts, I'm like, but I'm not a bad wife. And like, I have to constantly, do the advice I tell you guys where like I can try to sit before the Lord and be like, Lord, that was not my intention. And God, did I belittle my husband? Stuff like that. And so it's this constant ping pong in my brain. And it's just what happens when you're on the internet. Like when you say something, everyone can take it and misconstrue it. Or maybe I was belittling him. I don't know. But it affects me,
Yeah. And I think that's where we're different is I left that podcast going, that was one of my favorite podcasts we've done in a while. And I didn't feel belittled at all. And it's like, but that's also a podcast. When you put yourself out there, you give people an opportunity to speak about it, and it helps the podcast, it helps the algorithm in different ways. And so it's like engagement's engagement. But like the thing is like I'm able to separate reality from the internet. And if people want to pick apart, now if we were coming on here every time and belittling each other, yeah, people are going to comment that. But being able to look at negative feedback and go, okay, that's what that person said. Does my husband feel like that? No. Okay, great. Now we're moving on.
Which I think is, again, so hard with this whole, the whole internet and the whole world. And we've talked about this before, so I don't want to belabor this too much. But like, it's hard when I think like, your relationship and like we have so much fun and we like to like banter and pick on each other sometimes. And I think it can be misinterpreted on, is that the word, misinterpreted?
Yeah.
Misinterpreted on the internet of like, oh, she's belittling him or he thinks blah, blah, blah. But in reality, it's like, well, we wouldn't have like done that on a podcast if we really felt like that's what we were doing,
Yeah. And do you know the issue though?
Huh.
Because you now let one person say something like that, all the thousands of people who love you and love the podcast, they love the realness. Like the way we talk to each other on this podcast is the way people who are married talk to each other in real life.
And sometimes you're more unfiltered off camera.
Oh,
and you should be because it's your spouse. It's your best friend.
Yeah. If you have a boyfriend or you're married, girlfriend, whatever, like, how you can be rude to each other sometimes. Yeah. And so imagine you were doing a podcast. And so like, because you let that one person say that, you're ruining the dynamic for the other people who don't care.
Yeah, that's so true.
And the thing is like, if we're going to stay and do this podcast for the next decade or whatever, we have to get to the point where it's just like, it is what it is. Like people are going to have their opinions and that's fine.
I don't want to live my life catering my personality to fit the needs and their perceptions that people have of me. Like that is exhausting. And I think too, like imagine your life or your relationship was being broadcasted. You'd probably feel a little like, oh shoot, I'm a little scared. What are they going to say? But if anyone broadcasted your relationship, they would also see things in your relationship that they're like, oh, that's a little interesting, but it's their relationship. And it's never our intention to belittle each other or whatever. Like, yeah.
No, but sometimes it is.
But no, it's not.
Well, sometimes.
But sometimes it comes across that way, or maybe it does happen, but
yeah,
we don't leave that podcast being like, you belittled me, you know?
Yeah, and
if we did, we leave and we're like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's the thing is we just have to have thicker skin. And I also invite the constructive feedback. Like there's been times where we've interrupted each other too much on a podcast, and that's annoying to listen to. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think we've come to a core, like, real exciting. Well, I think we're fired up about the podcast again. I think we got a little in our heads with, like, the world is so polarizing. Every time you turn on the internet, it's a conspiracy theory. It's this or it's that. And so it's just like, what do you talk about anymore? It feels like every time my issue with podcasts, like, and this isn't a shade at anybody because, like, people can podcast if they want to. But there used to be a day where you had, there were only a few podcasts out there that you listened to. And now there's thousands of podcasts that all talk about the same thing every single Tuesday, every single Wednesday or Thursday, Friday, where it's the same guest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Janine and I got to the point where we were like, oh my gosh, like, why are we would look on YouTube of, like, what to talk about. And it's like, wait, why don't we just be ourselves?
Yeah.
And just be authentic. And I think that is what is sustainable.
Yeah.
And if the views go down, or if, then it is, because it used to be like, when we were dating, you guys remember the podcast? Like, when we were dating, getting married, there were so many, like, things to talk about, like the waiting season,
oh my gosh,
saving your sex, purity.
Yeah.
The wedding night, the night after the wedding night. But now, we're married.
We're in the mundane. We're in the thick of it right now. Like, there's nothing, like, super crazy going on besides just doing everyday life.
Law school and
being a mom and a dad, And so, I think all that to say, like, we're just excited for the direction, and we're not going to always get it right, but we're trying our best. We love this podcast. It is literally my baby. I look forward to it. I have so much fun.
Yeah.
And I love you guys so, so much. Like, if you've been here for a very long time, or even just as of recent, thank you for being here. We love you guys. And this podcast really is it's our favorite thing to do. We sit down and we have so much fun on this. All that to say, thank you guys for being here. Let's get into kind of today's episode. And what do we want to talk about? We want to shoot the sheesh.
Yeah, we're shooting the sheesh.
You're about to be finally done with school in like 2 weeks, but he is going through the thick of finals.
Yeah, guys.
I cannot wait for you to be done. For his sanity, for our sanity, I am so excited for you to be done with school for the semester.
Guys, I was looking in the mirror. I was looking in the mirror this morning. I have aged.
Oh no, same.
No,
postpartum is aged.
Well, sure, yeah.
What?
Oh no.
He's like, yeah.
No.
You've aged.
No, you have not aged. You look beautiful, but I have aged. I've aged years off my life. My hair is losing threads by the second. And
I'm not sure the hats are helping, babe.
Yeah, but the hats are, it's my makeup.
It's concealing.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. So I had my first final yesterday, and this is like therapy for me. And God told me about this too. That's what's ridiculous.
You didn't listen.
This is what happens, guys, when you don't listen to Jesus. Okay. I was at Lifetime Fitness working out, and God told me not to work out. That's the thing about it.
He told you?
He literally said, don't. Go home. Go sleep. And I went to work out at 7 p.m. Again, I have a final the next morning. And I'm working out. You guys, if you've been to Lifetime, they have like a little cafe in there. You can get meals and
they have
stuff.
Really good stuff normally.
Yeah. And so I was walking out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a breakfast burrito to go. And God told me not to. I literally felt him say, you're going to get food poisoning.
Nuh-uh.
I promise.
You swear?
I had this thought of like, because sometimes those prepackaged meals will be in there for a day or two.
Oh. This wasn't the one you ordered at the bar?
No.
Oh.
And so my thought was, oh, I'm just going to get one of those meals to go. And then, but I literally had the thought, I wonder if they're still good. I bet you, I just don't want to get food poisoning. And sure enough, I buy it, put it in the refrigerator, wake up the next morning.
Wait. What's ironic is I cooked him dinner that night, and we were going to eat steak that was like a day late, and we were like, should we risk it? And you were like, no, I don't want to get food poisoning. You're still like, let's not risk it because I don't want to get food poisoning.
Yeah, I literally said that.
Literally said that the night of.
Yeah. And so I wake up that morning, barely slept, stressed out for this exam, and I eat these breakfast tacos. And so I get to the exam, I'm sitting there, and granted, okay, so for the first couple hours, like I'm doing really good. I felt like I really good on the multiple choice, really good on the short answers, was flying through. And then I was down to the last question of the exam. And the last question of the exam was the hardest question of the exam because I saved it which I probably shouldn't have done this, really. I'm not sure. But I get to the last question, and I had about an hour left. And so it was a 2-part. Really, it was 3 questions because it was like a long essay, but I had like an hour-ish left. And so I was like, that's plenty of time. And then I start sweating. And it wasn't even a panic attack because I wasn't nervous. I was feeling good. And I I knew the substantive material, but I was staring at the words, and I wasn't comprehending what I was reading, and I was like having to like read it back and forth. And I was like, something's wrong. I literally thought I was having a stroke. No, I'm being serious.
For real?
I was getting hot. I was getting hot flashes. Literally, sweat was dripping. I was starting to smell.
Oh.
And so where I was taking the test, there was only one other person in the room where I was taking this test. We had a proctor, and then one other person was not right next to me, but kind of close to me. And so I'm trying not to make noise. And so I said, hey, sir, I was like, is it hot in here? And he was like, no, it's 70 degrees, and it was 20 degrees outside. I have 3 questions to this long essay, and I look at the 3 questions, and again, I'm not comprehending it, and I know what it's asking, but my brain wouldn't work, and I start kind of panicking, and I start getting a little nauseous, and so I step out. I was like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. And so I stepped outside, and I literally was like, Jesus, please, please. I started to panic because I was like, this is worth the most points in this part of the exam, and I need help. And I was like, I do not feel good. I could not stop sweating. And so I go back inside, and thank the Lord, I figured out 2 of the problems, and I feel like I gave a pretty good answer. And so I get down to the last question, which is worth like 20 points, which is the most points of the entire exam. And I didn't really the question was really, really difficult, but then I just felt the nausea just kicked in. And I looked to my left, and there's a trash can right next to me. And yeah, I ran
all your breakfast
and got on my hands and knees, and I literally for 2 minutes did not stop throwing up for 2 minutes. The proctor literally came up beside me, like had his hand on my shoulder.
Sweet guy.
No, legit.
Was it a guy?
I had yeah.
If it was a lady, I would have. I'm just kidding.
He was so nice. But I literally I was not okay. I thought I was going to die. I'm like dripping sweat. I could not stop throwing up. And he had his hand on my shoulder. He's like, it's okay. It's okay. And but all that's in my brain is I have 15 minutes left on this test. And I was like, I have to finish
it. Oh my gosh.
And I felt so bad for the poor guy next
that was in
to me.
There.
Yeah. And
there was another guy taking a test in there. Like if I were that guy and I'm trying to focus and I just hear this dude hurling in the corner of the room.
It was horrible.
I would feel so bad because then you affect his test taking possibly.
Yeah, I know. And the problem is like there's nothing I have to finish this because if I don't, I fail. Like I can't there's no retakes. Even if you get sick, I think. I don't unless it's like a life emergency.
You should email your professor and say, "Can I redo that last question?"
Yeah. And the
proctor can have your back.
Yeah. Thankfully, after I threw up, I was able to sit back down and answer the last question to the best of my ability. I definitely didn't answer it. And I didn't really, I was so sick when I was sitting there, like my whole face was yellow, and I yeah, I just had to answer it to my best ability, and then I just turned it in. And so,
man,
yeah, I still wasn't in the right. I still was like literally about to pass out when I submitted it, and I literally thought I was in the right headspace, so I was like, I just failed that. But looking back, I still think I did semi-okay on it. But it just sucked. It was like, dang, that was my first exam, and of course, out of all days, I get food poisoning. Like that is,
yeah,
it's just the worst. But it's just
that's Satan coming against you.
yeah. But at the same time, it's real life, and real life happens, and I have to move forward. It was kind of traumatic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I felt bad because like I hadn't heard from him for hours. So I finally like called him and I was like, "Hello?" And you were like, "Babe, I'm not well." Like
That's
he was
not
driving home and
that
you're
is
like,
the
"I'm about to barf in the car." And I was like, "Wait, what happened?" And it was similar to like the LSAT story. Still cracks me up to this day. If you guys don't know,
I have literally,
like what happens? What is happening to you?
I don't know. And I think there's gonna be people who say, "Oh, it's just test. You're having like test anxiety." No, like I was sick
Series of unfortunate
because I
events.
was sick the rest of the day.
Yeah,
and
he
I'm still a
was.
little sick right now.
But no, if you don't know the LSAT story, he
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
no, but I'm just trying to give a little like
They can go watch a different podcast.
okay, if you know, you know.
I have more stomach problems on that podcast too.
Just different end.
Yeah. Jiminy Christmas.
Anyway, I'm sorry, babe.
You know how vulnerable, like, there's a part of me that doesn't even want to tell the story.
But that's real life.
But it's real
know?
life. Who cares?
Everyone has their own embarrassing things like this. Trust me.
I need to find the guy who I was sitting next to in the exam because he was so nice.
Poor thing.
I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he goes, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, he was like, literally, take your time.
Aww.
It is okay. He was so kind. And so if you're listening
That's so Christ-like.
If you're listening to this, my man, I appreciate you. And I am sorry. I hate it that I was that guy.
You were that guy. That's okay, babe. No, seriously, it happens.
And people might say you should have walked out and not have made all that noise or whatever and gone to the bathroom. It's like, you don't understand. Like, I've worked all semester for this test. I can't. I have to be there to finish it. And I couldn't make it to the bathroom in time. Like there was no world.
Yeah. So I feel bad for you, but he does have 2 more finals and we are almost done with this semester. And then we want to travel for a little bit. We are hosting my entire family here for Christmas, which I'm a little nervous
like 30
about.
30 people?
No, it's like
Yeah.
16 to 18 adults and 10 kids. So yeah, it's a lot of people.
You're like, no, it's only 16.
Here's the thing is that we have the space to host. We just don't have enough beds. So we're like, hey, you guys welcome to sprawl out. We're trying to work on like getting the room situated, but we don't have enough beds. You guys know I've been on a big clean up the kitchen kick lately, really looking into what I'm using every day. And honestly, the more I learn about traditional nonstick cookware, the more I am shocked. It is loaded with forever chemicals like PFAS, and studies have shown that even a single scratch on a standard nonstick pan can release thousands of plastic particles into your food. That is a hard pass for me, and that is why I switched to Our Place. It has completely upgraded my kitchen. Their cookware is high performance and toxin free, made without PFAS, PTFEs, or any of those forever chemicals. You can finally cook without wondering what's leaching into your meal, except, the recipe that you actually planned. And the best part, their 4-piece cookware set is basically a total kitchen overhaul in one go. You get 2 always pans, 2 perfect pots, both in full and many sizes. They replace this huge, bulky stack of cookware. And with these 4 pieces, I can sear, saute, fry, bake, steam, boil, literally everything. Plus, the nonstick performance is amazing. Eggs slide right off and clean so easy. And everything matches in those signature Our Place colors. Buying this set also saves you money, $150 versus buying everything individually. And if you want to explore more, their Wonder Oven is iconic for a reason, and the Always Pan Pro made of pure titanium is basically indestructible. Their cookware is designed in LA, trusted by Michelin star chefs, and with more than 80,000 5-star reviews, it's the real deal. Our Place is having their biggest sale of the year right now. Save up to 35% 20% site-wide through January 12th. Head to FromOurPlace.com/healthy to see why more than 1 million people have made the switch to Our Place kitchenware. And with their 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and free returns, you can shop with total confidence. Shop the Our Place holiday sale right now. No code needed. You guys know that I love sharing anything that's going to help you deepen your faith, help you stay more connected with God. And during the Christmas season, we're all slowing down, reflecting, and hopefully focusing on what the season is about. And that really is Jesus. And with the new Hosanna Revival Winter Collection, these could not be more perfect for the season. If you're looking for a meaningful gift, maybe for you or a loved one, then their new winter collection is perfect for that. They have Bibles, devotionals, journals, and prayer tools to help you stay really connected with God, and they are absolutely gorgeous at the same time. So I have their Oxford CSB note-taking Bible. It is so beautiful. And you can take notes on the inside, which I love that feature. I also have the One Thing I Ask prayer journal. This is amazing. You can write down a prayer every single day. And I have their Bethany notebook, which I'm going to be giving this to a friend. And I absolutely love their journals. They are my favorite journals. They're super bendy. I love the lines, and they are also super small and compact and easy to travel with as well. And these just make the most intentional gifts as well as a stocking stuffer, and it can really help you or a loved one go deeper with God this year. So if you want to browse their full winter collection, make sure to head over to hosannarevival.com and make sure to use my code Janine15 to get 15% off and make this season meaningful with gifts that point towards Jesus. So check it out, you guys.
Can I complain?
Yeah?
I want to complain.
Okay. You feel like complaining today?
Yeah. I don't like our world.
Oh.
I don't like...
Is this a tangent?
I miss the 90s and the early 2000s. I think about my childhood and Christmas. And this goes into like your family coming over. Like I remember when my family came over during Christmas back in the day, you just had... Nowadays in the world, it's like, that's why we're doing like a nostalgic 90s Christmas theme for our house.
Yeah.
And like when your cousins come over, your family, like I want it to feel early 2000s, 90s. I want it to feel the Christmas joy again.
The thing is, we can't go back to that. Well, it'll never be the same. And like as much as we can try to recreate that and give our children those memories again, like unfortunately we can never go back because...
I think we can.
No, we can't. We have these things now. These things have completely changed our world.
She's pulling up her phone.
Oh yeah, my phone, if you're just listening to audio only. It's completely revolutionized everything. And like we can't go back to a time when it was simple and there was VHS tapes and you woke up and it's just not the same. Saturday morning cartoons.
I think we can get rid of, I'm tired of AI. I'm tired of, you open up Instagram, you don't know what's true anymore. You watch these reels of a dog saving a firefighter and you're like.
No, literally.
And you're like, dude, that dog just saved the firefighter out of the burning building.
No, I see these all the time.
And then Christmas is fake. Like everything is fake. Like we're going to, it makes me mad. So I think our son, we're going to give him all the old VC, we bought a VHS TV. Mm-hmm. We're going to, the VHS tapes.
Which, go check out those vlogs, because we did a whole vlog, like 3-part series vlog on my YouTube channel of just showing us decorating and how we did it. And it was honestly really fun.
Yeah, I think we can recreate our childhood memories because I think our childhood memories are better than this generation's childhood memories are. Well, because they're real memories. They're not in a phone.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I think kids today, like their memories are going to be their face in an iPad. And I get it. It's like there's a tired mom out there who's just like, I need a break. Like they need to just have a moment to like distract their kids so they can get ready or shower or whatever. Like I get it now. But I remember like my mom would just be like, go play outside. Vonnie and I would go rollerblade every day at 3 p.m. We would go climb trees. I would play fairies. I would go like literally the most fun, innocent childhood. We played Legos, Barbies. I just miss those days.
I actually think this is true. I think AI and Instagram, TikTok, for this generation, that it's their reality, right? It's when they get out of their phone, they have to go to their job. Their job's not their reality. It's almost like its own thing because to get back to the phone. And then once you're back to the phone, you're back in this sphere of your favorite people. And we're not, we post on social media, so we're maybe a part of the problem in some ways. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm more so talking about, I think, especially with Christmas and these memories, we're looking at our son and how we want to raise him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think AI, Instagram has become, we don't know what to believe anymore. There's so much going on that I think it's almost making people go backwards. And I think you look at children's movies these days, like the new movies that come out, the overstimulation from like the graphics to like just like keeping these kids' attention.
Yeah, there's constant action, things popping up, constant stimulation.
Yeah.
When we watched like the Disney movies we had as we were children,
it's slow.
It wasn't as like you were just sucked in, which you were sucked in, but like not the way that kids are today.
No. And I wonder, like, I'm sure families said the same thing when we were, back in my day, I didn't have TVs.
Yeah, we sound like boomers right now.
But no, I think it's actually scary.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am on a mission, an absolute mission to, because I'm like I still listen to the radio. I have like my sports talk radio that I listen to. I'm on a mission to bring back just like normal things where like you have to sit there and like watch it and you have to read the news. I did the other day. I deleted. So I'm 5 months sober on energy drinks and Twitter. 4 months,
what about
5 months.
TikTok?
TikTok, I'm 2 months sober. I think a month and a half, 2 months sober. And I feel it's like my my waves, my what's the word? My adrenaline, my
dopamine,
just like I feel cleaner again. I just feel better. And what was my point?
I don't know.
I have a point here.
You're going back to being a boomer and being simple?
Oh, no. Yeah. I literally bought Apple News on my phone because I was so like, because I still want to keep up with like what's going on.
Yeah.
But like I'm getting my news where I'm having to actually like read these, articles, and you get one from this bias source, you get one from that, but you're reading, different opinions about what's going on, and you're not just in your own echo chamber of like what the news is.
Well, it's interesting because I think I've seen a statistic where this generation says that they mainly get their news from social media. It's true.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I follow a lot of different accounts that'll give you the latest updates and stuff. My favorite one is that one account that's like real news, no BS. It just gives you the news. It's not like, hey, there's no bias. It says it's what the account is called, no BS.
Janine's out here cussing, guys.
No. And it literally just tells you what goes on, and it's supposed to not have a bias and just tell you straight up like, hey, this happened. There's a war here. There's, you know what I mean. So
yeah, it's like social media. It just feeds you the people you love and people you hate. Mm-hmm. Like there's literally like content comes up. It's literally it's only things you love and things you hate.
Mm-hmm.
And
it knows you very, very well, and it studies you. Yeah, it's a scary, kind of a scary world we're living in, and I feel like we talk about this a lot. But it's hard because I love social media, and I'm an influencer. It's part of my job, but I think you can still be a part of it and also see the negative sides of it and the effects of it and the way it affects me. Like I am addicted to scrolling. It's hard.
Yeah.
What?
No, you are very addicted.
But so are you.
But I'm recovering.
You're recovering because you were forced to because of law school. I'm home with Duke, and I'm also like looking for my own content ideas. I'm honestly on my phone all the time editing and trying to get all the content up. And so it's hard because there's a part of me that's like, oh, I just want to get off sometimes. And honestly, I periodically go through deleting TikTok. Just the other day, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just deleted it. I deleted it for like 3 days, and then I re-downloaded it.
Yeah.
But there's something about TikTok specifically. I don't know if anyone else feels this way.
TikTok sucks.
TikTok?
I hate TikTok.
It's like I swipe and it's like ad, TikTok shop,
mean.
Selling me something. It's mean.
Bullying.
It's drama.
It's bullying.
There's just constant negativity on there. But then sometimes I love just to like hear people talk. I feel like I don't get that on Instagram where like I just hear people share cool stories and things that they're learning. And TikTok just overwhelms me where sometimes I'm like, I just delete it and I'm like, I've got to get off.
See, I would post a law school video on TikTok, then the comments are like, what rank is your law school? Or like, what do you or put the phone down? Or like, it's just, people are just hateful.
What is the deal with the TikTok viewers and commenters?
They're
like
mean
Instagram
people.
has its own his own lane of people. I think maybe Instagram is more the older generation because I always see on TikTok
it's Facebook
where
now.
TikTok it says like, oh, TikTok people will say Instagram's dying. No one cares about Instagram anymore, which in my opinion, I'm like, Instagram is our most popular platform. Like, we love Instagram. Like, my main audience is on Instagram. And so in my opinion, it's not dying. But I feel like TikTok
That's
is
what
the
our parents
younger.
say about Facebook.
Oh, yeah. They're like, my Facebook is popping off. That's really not. Love you, Mom and Dad. Kidding. They don't even use Facebook.
Yeah,
Grandma Jean?
Grandma Jean does.
We love Grandma Jean. I was gassing her up in the last episode. But TikTok is that younger generation, and they're just like ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
Ruthless.
Well, they will, like...
They'll pick on your insecurities.
There are people out there who go, what career am I going to destroy today? They wake up and they're like... And I think those people are miserable.
No, but they're
miserable people.
I think people find satisfaction in knowing that they like took someone down. That they're like, I'm the one who humbled her. I'm the one who got to call her out. Like,
do you notice those people always get taken down later by someone else? That's the irony about it. Is like the people who make a career on taking people down eventually get taken down by the same beast that they created.
I'm not even necessarily talking about the commentators. I'm just talking about like your normal everyday people that they just love to hate.
No.
So
that wasn't even my point.
Yeah.
Like, we're bringing the 90s back. I promise you I'm going to.
How do you plan on doing that? Are you going to get a little pay phone or like a remote phone at the house?
No.
What's that called? I don't even remember the name of it. What's it called again? Like a home phone?
Yeah, home phone. I think for Duke, and maybe I won't do this because, I don't want my son to hate me, but I think you just have to... I think that's the thing with like buying an old TV and like the VHS.
Yeah.
He has to take the movie out and he has to
wait. He has to
put
rewind
it. He has to get up to turn it up. He has to get up to take it out to put his different movie in there. You have to press pause on the TV. If you turn it off while the TV's going, you might break it. There needs to be that element of like, if I'm playing this game or I'm watching this TV, if I do this could break. Like having that mindset of like, I got to take care of things. I have to put it back in its case. That's what people don't talk about. It's like, do you remember as a kid, you'd get in trouble when you didn't put the DVD back in the case?
If it was scraped, you were in big trouble.
Kids today won't know about blowing on the CD for the 1,000th time and knowing when you put it back in the TV, it's not working. But if you put it in particularly at the right point, in the little thing, it might work.
You're struggling?
The feeling of turning on your Xbox and it potentially not working because you didn't take care of this CD is single-handedly why our generation is more healthy than the other generation, because their game's just loaded on. The privilege. The game's just loaded on.
You know what's interesting?
To the cloud.
Is okay, so we bought a VHS tape. We put on Home Alone. We were like, whoa, the nostalgia. But those VHS tapes have the same ads. Like, they will always have the same ads.
Same ads.
When you go to like YouTube or whatever, like even anything now, like you can swap out the ads because it's more money, more advertisement. Like everything's a money game at the end of the day. Duke will see the same commercial on those VHS tapes as we did growing up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like everything gets swapped out. It's kind of interesting if you think about it.
So, yeah, Janine, you're genius. I literally, I was on YouTube yesterday for 45 minutes scrolling on the Explore page. I would start a video for 5 minutes. I go to the next one. And I caught myself, was like, oh my gosh. I don't ever end up watching anything because my attention span. So I forced myself, we're going to watch this. And I'm not going to stop until the whole thing goes. And once I was 15 minutes in, then I was hooked. And that's the issue, is like, if Duke and your kids out there, if they have that mindset at 6 years old where they can't start something and finish it, that's going to bleed into their life. It's going to bleed into their job. It's going to bleed into their relationship and their girlfriend, boyfriend. Your 7-year-old is going to have 7 girlfriends by the time he's 9 if he doesn't get a hold of
Not
this.
Duke.
You know, if your son is getting bored easy, it's the reason why a lot of girls' hearts are going to be broken. So if you give your son a VHS movie and he knows he has to appreciate that VHS tape, he's going to appreciate your daughter. Okay?
That's the direct correlation.
No, it's science.
According to Caleb.
You have to think about it. Think about it from a objective lens. Don't think subjectively in this. Because if your conduct, your whole life, is trading, it's
instant gratification.
Yeah.
And yeah.
100%.
No, I do think that's true. And I think that's why, okay, when the older generation is like, these Gen Z kids, they never want to work and they want everything quickly. Like, I know it sounds annoying. And as a Gen Zer, you're probably like, okay, we're not that bad. Stop always bashing our generation. Like, you guys are so annoying.
No, they're horrible.
Who?
They're not bad.
Who? Gen Z or boomers?
Gen Z.
No, I literally just watched a video today where it was like Gen Zers and boomers like arguing where like the boomers are like, you guys have no work ethic and you guys don't work anymore and you want everything quickly. And then the Gen Zers were like, that's not true. Like, you guys don't understand. And he's like, well, you have AI to help you and you have all this technology. We didn't have that. There is something about that grit of like back in the day, the typewriter, writing out everything hand by hand, letter by letter. I mean, that's what I did. I didn't have, and honestly, thank God I did not have AI in college. I would have just cheated the whole time. I'm so glad I had to like think and use my brain. And of course, there was like Quizlet and Spark Notes, whatever. I forgot exactly what I used because I've been out of college almost 10 years. But I'm glad I had that grit. And I don't know what that's going to look like going forward, but I do think, I remember in the Industrial Revolution, they thought like this is what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. When like the Industrial Revolution happened, like this is what they thought was where we are now, where it was like, they're taking our jobs. But it's like, no, I really think that's like legit happening now.
Yeah.
That was happening at the time, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, the issue is like and I'll just say this, and I might get hate for this, but people, the typewriter people, even the old computer people, they're smarter. They are definitely, we have access to more technology for sure. Yeah. We know more, but to be able to think like there's so many studies that AI is decreasing our cognitive ability because we can't think without ChatGPT.
Yeah,
like kids today can't think without it. They don't know how to write a 3-page paper on what their opinion is on something, and it's because we've removed that ability. Just like scrolling, like everything is done for you, and you don't have to.
Yeah,
you don't have to think. And
I mean, another thing epidemic that's happening is teachers are complaining and saying that their job has never been harder. And kids don't know how to write. They don't know how to read. They're struggling. Like you said, they don't know how to form paragraphs. A lot of them have very bad attention spans. They're bratty in class. Like, honestly, if you're a teacher, thank you. Because like Caleb's sister is a teacher and we've heard the stories and we're so grateful for her because y'all are raising up the next generation, but that's a very, very hard job and a severely underpaid job.
Yeah. I think that's why a lot of times the best behaved kids that you see, you look at the parents and a lot of the times these parents who have it, they may not be their kids' best friends. Their kids might end up having resentment towards them, with seeing their friends get to do stuff. Yeah. But the parents who make their kids like go play outside. Nope, you get an hour of screen time. We're talking to ourselves. Like this isn't us preaching to you guys. Like literally, Janine and I are having conversations of like, hey, if we keep going down this route where this phone,
yeah,
and this goes back to what I was talking about earlier with like Christmas, because things have lost its color. And I think if you've read the book, The Giver,
great book. It's actually my favorite book when I was a kid.
I think we've created a giver society.
What does that mean?
I think you walk outside and, like, to be honest with you, when you're in this phone all day, you walk outside and things are gray because your phone, there's all these, you're seeing all these things and it's your attention span and you're watching your favorite videos and then you walk outside and it's maybe not as exciting. And I promise you, my 2-month sabbatical off TikTok, and I'm not talking, we can't just remove ourselves from it. I'm not talking about that. I think you still need to be in the world a little bit, but I think as a country, as a society, we need to like come together and forcefully revolt against how much technology is hurting us. It might be helpful for innovation.
I'm not really sure what that looks like, but I do think that's why there's so many people speaking out against it, and there's books and there's TED Talks, because we realize how these are affecting us, and it's so hard because it's like we have our whole world in our pocket. We have our calculator, our Google Calendar, our maps, we have photo. I mean, this is literally like no one can go a day without this anymore. It's hard, but it's kind of like, okay, what does that practically look like to kind of like take a break and have a sabbatical? And I mean, for us, like we noticed, you get home from law school, you want to turn your brain off, you want to scroll. I finally get, Duke's asleep. I'm like, okay, I get a second for myself. And so we're both just kind of scrolling. And it's really easy to look at each other and be like, oh my gosh, we haven't even really had intentional conversation. We haven't sat down and been like, how was your day? And massage each other, whatever. And so, which you need to massage my feet more often. I'm carrying the load over here. No,
yeah.
But I'm just going to say really fast. It's just, this thing has so much power, but it's like, what does it practically look like? Because we could be sitting here all day long being like, this is the worst thing ever. But also like, I do love it. It's so beneficial. It's so useful. So I don't know. It's like, what does that look like? All right, you guys, we have had Duke for 6 months now, and it has been amazing. I am trying to figure out this new routine of life, but amidst the joy and the exhaustion, I still want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And that starts with nutrition, and that's why I've continued to use Ritual. I did use their essential prenatal when I was pregnant, but now postpartum, I'm using their postpartum vitamins, and I really, really recommend them. They are packed with clean, traceable ingredients like choline, folate, and omega-3s, so I know I'm giving my body the nutrients it needs to recover and support breastfeeding. I love that it is designed for optimal absorption. It is gentle on my stomach, way easier than other supplements I've tried. I trust Ritual because they're transparent about every ingredient and back everything with clinical research. Honestly, it is one less thing to stress about in the middle of chaos of being a new mom. So if you want to make sure you are supporting yourself as much as you're supporting your little one, don't settle for less than evidence-based support. My listeners get 25% off their first month at ritual.com/healthy. That's ritual.com/healthy for 25% off your first month. Check it out, you guys.
You know what it looks like? And this is going to sound crazy. I think it's practical in the sense of this is going to sound really stupid, like what I'm about to say. The next time you go onto Netflix, you get 5 minutes to choose a movie, and you have to watch the whole thing. You don't click out.
That's tough because there's a lot of dumb movies on Netflix.
I don't care if you don't like it. I think that's why our older generation had the same. They were able to get really good at stuff. They were able to maybe work a job for 10 years, or they were able to
more than that
enjoy their job, or like. And I think I think it's practicing that of starting something and you're going to finish. And I'm kind of joking when I say finish the movie, but I think that's the rewiring of your brain that you have to tell it yourself. Like, think about like the olden days. And I know I always talk about the olden days, but like when you had to go kill the buffalo for the tribe, that is still in our DNA, whether you like it or not. Tribal.
He goes back to this a lot.
Yes, but you have to recreate these. That's the way your brain's wired. It wasn't
Caleb's favorite pastime memory.
It wasn't meant to look for movies for 3 hours. That's why we're sad. That's why.
But the thing is, there's so many options now that you get overwhelmed. You're scrolling through Hulu, HBO, Amazon Prime, Netflix, YouTube. Like, there's so many options that you have decision fatigue because you're just like, back in the day, it was like, you picked through the collection your parents had. These were the 5 VHS tapes you had. Pick one and rewatch it 20 billion times over and over and over.
And you love those movies.
And I love it. Wait, hold on. Here's why the Christmas movies feel so nostalgic, because it was the same movie every single year. You watched, you sat down with your family, you had cookies. That's what we did when we were children.
Yep.
And that's why there's this element of nostalgia with Christmas that everyone loves so much, because I think we're always trying to go back to that.
Well, you know why, Janine?
Why, Caleb?
It's because name one movie, and then I'll tell you why. Name one movie that you can remember from the last 5 that's been made for the last 2 or 3 years, 4 years maybe, like that you're gonna watch every single Christmas.
Home Alone.
No, that's been made. That's been like
now?
Made. Yeah, recently.
Oh, I mean, really nothing. It's the classics
now,
for me.
So it's, it's funny. It's the classics for kids today. Still, they still watch the classics. So you know why I think it is because what we were talking about earlier. You picked a movie, you watched it, and then you watched it again. So you're memorizing. You're getting good at the movie. You're memorizing. You remember back in the olden days, and I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, or you're interrupting me. I'm
not really sure.
I don't know who's doing it.
We're just bantering.
But there used to be a day and age where you would have to study the movie because when you went to class, went to school, it was who can make the best joke and the reference of the movie.
I was homeschooled, so I didn't have that.
Yeah, but there cool people will know. And I'm just kidding. I was homeschooled too.
Wow. No, I'm just kidding.
But I've said my point is 1,000 times that this podcast is a soapbox, and you're probably annoyed at me at this point. But I think the reason why we don't have the kids, I think, you know what their nostalgic memories are going to be? And it's not a bad thing, but their nostalgic memories are going to be their favorite Twitch streamer and their favorite YouTuber.
I think it's like parents, I genuinely wonder, I'm like, what are going to be those nostalgic memories that like our kids, because we have Duke right now, but like when we have more kids, what are they going to look back on when they get older and they're going to be like, my parents did this every single year with us and we loved it. Is like, they took us to get ice cream. They took us to the zoo.
We went to chop down a Christmas tree.
We went and chopped down a Christmas tree. We built our Christmas village every year. Like, that's why we're looking at now being like, what are those traditions? Like, I want to go and get a Christmas village edition every single year, set that up with the kids, like have a really cool thing. I want to start that as a tradition. I want to watch the same Christmas movies. Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering, I'm like, what would that be for our kids? Because I know I had that when I grew up. Like, we had the same traditions every year. And I look back and those are still my fondest memories,
I think that's the answer right there is
repetition.
Well,
you know what? No, I think that's a good point. Is the reason why we love so many things in our childhood is because of the repetition. We knew every year we can look forward to this. Now there's so much new. You get this new toy, new this, new that, new movie.
That's why Netflix
and kids are just like, like they don't remember anything because it's something new every single year. I think traditions are something we need to bring back.
Not only traditions, but at the same time, it's doing things that, like going to chop down the Christmas tree. Everything you're describing are things that are not instantaneous gratification. Building a Christmas village is not instant.
Trust me, that took me forever.
Watching a movie that you remember back in the day, the first 10 to 15 minutes is kind of boring of 90s movies. They weren't trying to capture your attention because they know you bought the ticket, you have to sit there, you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
There's something about that nowadays. That's why Netflix movies suck these days.
They're so bad.
They're reproduced.
No, they're mass produced.
Yeah. And so I think everything you're describing is doing things that don't instantaneously grab your attention.
There's something, I feel like there's something about, and everyone knows this, but when something has had a lot of effort put into it, it's been built up for time and years and months and whatever. There's this buildup where you're super excited. And even in your job and you're cooking this recipe, like anything that is worth having is going to take time. So now that everything can be mass produced, you snap your finger, it shows up, it's quick, you just click it, you're not going to ever take anything. You're going to take everything for granted. You're not going to appreciate it. There was something about that time era when you were waiting for that movie to come out. You go, you buy the ticket, you sit there, you get your popcorn, you sit in the movie theater, and you're so excited. Now you're going through Netflix, you're like, oh, new movie came out, click it, this is boring, next, you click out. And I feel like we're missing that, that build up, what's that word I'm looking for? That anticipation.
Yeah.
And I think it's like going back to doing hard things again. Even for me, I don't like cooking, but I think there's something about, I cooked this. I put this in the oven for 30 minutes and now I'm going to try it and see if it tastes good. Do I like it? Does my husband like it? And when it does and it tastes good, it's like, that was rewarding.
Yeah. You know what? And this is probably the least amount I've talked about law school since going to law school, but I'm going to give a law school reference. Do you know what a lot of times courts care the most about? Like when we have laws and rules on certain things, like contracts, for instance, like there's certain requirements for oral contracts. So like if you have an oral agreement and it's for the sale of a good and it's if the sale of the goods worth more than $500 under the statute of frauds, it has to be in writing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's an exception. And you know what that exception is?
Tell me, Caleb.
If it's a specially manufactured good, it doesn't. If the other person, you had an oral agreement, and the other person took time to make the product for you, they specially manufactured it for you, courts will enforce the contract if it's a specially manufactured good. And I just think that that's a good analogy to how we should care about specially manufactured goods that take a while, like making the Christmas tree, doing the things that take time and effort. Like if our courts are looking and saying, no, we're going to prioritize people who took time to do something, I think it's a good like representation to like how we should think about our life of, car washes are great, but sometimes it might be good to go out there and clean your own clean your own car.
It's true.
Because I think you'll appreciate it more.
Yeah.
And I think, and it's not to say like just do things just to do things, but I think we live in such a concrete technology society that it sounds funny. Like in the olden days, you had to go, it would be nice to say, oh, I just wish I could have this buffalo come on a conveyor belt and I would just have it. And so I think we have to create, honestly, man-made obstacles in our life right now to keep our minds healthy.
Well, it reminds me again, I mean, I've talked about this book before, and I think it's a book we should all reread at the beginning of January. It's The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer. The book went viral because of what we're exactly talking about. How he says, why don't you stay in a grocery line? That takes a while. Don't just go looking for the shortest line. You know how like you go to the grocery store, you're jumping back and forth and you're like, what's the shortest line? I need to go. I need to do self-checkout. He's like, go into the longest line and stand there. It's things like that where it's like building resistance for yourself and trying to learn to not need everything so quickly and time and place for it. Sometimes you're in a rush. I get it. As a mom too, your baby is screaming. Had that happen a lot. I totally get it. But I think that's a book I want to revisit. And also, I think just detoxing, like God rested on the seventh day, and he did that for a reason. God worked, he labored, he created, and then he rested. And there's something about, and even Ecclesiastes talks about, enjoying the fruits of your labor. You labor, you toil, but enjoying it too. So why do we not have a day where everything is just disconnected? We turn off, we Sabbath, we rest, we have people with no phones, no technology. I mean, John Mark Comer does this. He still practices Sabbath every single Sunday. And I've talked about this for so long. We're like, I just want that as a family culture, even for our kids to see, hey, on Saturdays or Sundays, whatever that day looks like, our phones go in the drawer. People know, do not bother me on a Sunday. We are a family. We're going to go play football outside. We're going to go on a walk. Like that would be a beautiful thing, I think, for all of us to adopt. I don't know what that looks like, if that's 5 hours a day, if that's in a whole day. I don't know if I could do 24 hours personally, but
that's why
that'd be amazing.
That's why I like golf.
Yeah.
Because you're out there for 4 or 5 hours and you're sitting and you're waiting a lot. But you're out there in nature. And so
I don't have an equivalent to that.
Yeah, I think
getting my nails. You know what's equivalent? This is so stupid.
No, say it.
Getting my nails done and being stuck there for an hour and I can't move. Can't use my phone, can't do anything. I'm just sitting there. So hard for me to do. It's partially why I hate getting my nails done, because I just sit there and I can't move.
Yeah.
For an entire hour.
That's tough.
I know, it's stupid. It's first world problem for sure.
When I look back on it, because right now law school makes me do these things that I'm talking about because I can't be on my phone. But I want to, when I'm done with law school, I want to think ahead and think, okay, right now my sleep is best than it's ever been. I'm
Besides
healthier.
The other night before.
Yeah. I'm healthier than I've ever been mentally. And I think it's because of all the things we've been talking about. I think it's the removal of energy drinks.
Yeah. Which I still need to work on that.
And TikTok. Completely.
That makes sense. And I mean.
And Twitter.
Those small little minor changes I think are amazing. And so maybe comment down below, what small change are you going to do this week?
Yeah.
You know what? I've been thinking about this a lot. I am 100% addicted to caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't function without it. And I do not like that. And I think, we blame a lot of people for being addicted on drugs and alcohol. And it's like, caffeine is technically a drug. I love coffee, but I feel like I always have either an energy drink or another cup of coffee the second part of the day. And I need it. And I wish I could just break that habit.
I read a study they did on people with energy drinks, and they gave the group sucralose, like a lower level of sucralose to this group, and then the other party they didn't have sucralose, and like the issues cognitively and it wasn't cognitively, it was their gut biome.
Yep.
And how it's destroying our gut, and which affects our brain health. And I'm telling you guys, if you drink energy drinks, guys, you're talking to a person. How addicted was I?
Oh my gosh. You had 1 to 2 energy drinks a day.
Yeah. And for how many? For
years.
Since I was 17.
And you know that's like put some people in the hospital, like liver failure?
No, I went to the hospital.
What?
Yeah, I had heart
palpitations.
Yeah, I had extreme anxiety, and I thought I was having a heart attack when I was 18. And
yeah,
I gave up energy drinks in the end of July, and it's almost December. I haven't had one. And I did it cold turkey. And I still drink coffee, but it's changed, Janine. It has changed my life.
It's good. I'm proud of you.
It has completely changed my life. We have to start making cases for, and I want to hold men accountable to this, like the epidemic with Zen and nicotine pouches and energy drinks. And we're just so stimulant heavy. Mm-hmm. It's hurting us, I think, a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like the Bloom energy drinks. They're supposed to be like more clean than traditional ones, but I think anything like that could be possibly dangerous. And I don't have one every single day, but definitely I need to work on getting rid of that. And it just tastes so good, and I like it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like I still eat Chick-fil-A. I still eat a donut. Like I'm not saying an occasional energy drink is bad. Mm-hmm. But when you have them for 7 straight years and you don't miss a day, and you're having 1 to 2 a day,
that's a different story.
That's more so what I mean.
Well, hold on. Well, also I feel like, again, the sugar epidemic, what you're also talking about. I was just watching the video yesterday about this, just how much sugar affects you and ages you, and it causes you to have acne and all these breakouts, and your skin looks dull and your hair. Like, sugar is so bad for you. And I literally was just thinking about wanting to do a processed sugar like cleanse, not where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to just do this for like a couple days, but like I really want to work on trying to remove overly processed sugars in our house. I think for the most part we do eat very well, because I really try not to bring anything like that in our house, but sometimes you just get lazy, or you're just like, oh, I just need something quick, and it doesn't really do anything good for you. It just spikes your insulin, and then it causes you to crash, and it's not long-term good for your body. I'm not talking about like any sugars like fruit. I'm talking about like processed sugars. So I don't know. I think overall, this isn't just like a start January, let's start better and then fall off, but like small habits that we could do to genuinely change our lives.
I'm trying to think of like what I need to give up.
I think for me, it's those energy drinks.
Yeah. The problem is energy drinks were our love language. Our favorite thing was
true.
Every single day we would go pick and I drink it for the fruitiness of it and it
tastes so
cherry.
Good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Lonnie New and Bloom. Oh, yeah, so good.
Maybe eventually I'll have one, once every now and then. But I'm at a point where I know I can't reintroduce it because I don't know if I'll be able to stop again. But yeah, I'm trying to think what I should. You know what I want to give up? I want to give up just frozen pizzas.
We love those. It's such a problem.
Frozen pizza, man.
It's just weird because we're in like this really busy space of life right now, and sometimes he's tired, I'm tired. We're like, let's just throw in a CPK pizza. We love it. Is it good for us?
California.
No.
You know what I'm never gonna give up?
What?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, me either.
Because it's a once a week.
I love it. We really don't.
Or once every 2 weeks.
We used to have it. Oh my gosh, an ungodly amount.
2.2 times a week.
Because when we lived in Dallas, we lived right next to a Chick-fil-A. It was like a 5-minute drive. Now it's a lot harder, so I don't go as frequently, but...
We were also in marathon training, where it made a little more sense to be able to have a Chick-fil-A every now and then. Nowadays, like, you and I are lucky to get a workout in, and so we've definitely had to be a little more...
Yeah, we can't eat like that anymore because we both don't work out as frequent as we used to, and we'd be struggling.
Do you feel as if everything we just talked about is us just missing
being
our
hypocritical
childhoods? Not being hypocritical, but just trying to live in nostalgia. And I think people might comment and might say, get over it. It's the new day and age. Like,
or you're part of the problem, or this is how it is.
You guys are the ones making content.
I don't know. It's hard. I don't think it's wrong for us to desire that, because I think a lot of people desire that, especially us being born in the 90s. And as a Gen Zer, you can't miss what you don't know when you haven't experienced. So for us, it's like, man, I just want to go back. But for them, they're like, this is all I know. So it's like this constant tension. And I think that's why like boomers get mad at millennials and millennials get mad at Gen Z. And it's like, we keep repeating this problem. And I'm like, how can we just,
Well, you know what I think it is? If you look at the technology from 1950 to 1990, 1980, there were big things that happened for sure. But if you look at the technology, if you look at the
technological advancements,
the technological advances from 2007 when the iPhone came out to now with AI, with sunglasses that can now film, and you have VCR and virtual reality. I mean, more has happened in the technology industry as far as innovation goes in the last 5-10 years than the last 100. And so I think when people are saying, well, every generation has said this, it's like, no, I think it's a little different now, because people are actually having robots that are their girlfriends, and they're having relationships with their AI bots, and people are.
I've seen a lot of that where people are like, I proposed to my AI girlfriend, and I'm like, what?
Well, it's so. I mean,
it's interesting.
The most annoying part too is, since going to law school, is a lot of people have been like, why are you even going to law school? Because AI is just going to be all the attorneys, or they'll say stuff like that. And it's like, first of all, it's not true. It is so, like, AI helps out with some of the annoying paperwork that just helps go through documents. But AI is so bad when it comes to that human to human level, but also it just makes things up. Like there are lawyers getting in trouble all the time and they're getting disbarred for citing cases. It just literally, I've played around with it and to test it, and it'll make cases up, and it'll just make up its own theories. And you're like, where did you get that from? And so there needs to be people that's the mistake, is we're just going to be slaves to technology. Don't become lawyer because the technology, so we're giving power to the thing that's going to potentially control us later. Instead of going, no, I'm going to go, like, don't stop doing things because you feel like technology is just going to catch up. They've been saying that about doctors forever. Why are you going to be a doctor? Because, we're just going to have robots do all these surgeries. It's like, well, maybe, but someone needs to take care of the robot. Someone needs to make sure that, like, the humans can still be in control. And so
I think people have always been in fear that we would be replaced, but you can't replace God's original design. And even if you do, like, it will never match a human level. It'll never match God's unique creativity on a brain. It'll never be able to do that because we are humans. And I think to kind of summarize this podcast, we're not saying like, guys, we're doomsday, everything sucks. Like, there's no hope. Like, there is hope. And I think it's just, we have to be extra, extra, extra intentional to fight against this constant, ever-changing world that we live in. And I think less is more sometimes. We don't need every latest advancement. We don't need every newest gadget. I personally, sometimes those things overwhelm me. It's like that Smart House movie on Disney Channel where, like, your house does everything for you. It's like, we don't need a house doing everything for us. Like, yes, it's nice if you can say, Alexa, turn the lights on. That's great. But sometimes it's like, we just got to get up and get our butts moving and do things that are hard. And there's some things we love that help us simplify things. Like, I love going on ChatGPT and being like, give me 5 recipes. And I do them a lot.
It's amazing.
I'm not bashing a lot of these things because we use them. There are so many beautiful, beneficial things. But there is a part of us that's like, man, I'm just craving that, like, simpler times, the easier times where it maybe wasn't as simple, but as a kid, it felt simple. So I don't know. I think we just want to overall try to figure out how do we replicate that for our children. And yeah. What do you guys think? Very curious.
Yeah.
Very curious what you guys think.
I'll close out on this. You might be listening to this podcast and saying, okay, guys, so what? I think all we're saying is look at your life. ask yourself, where am I most stressed out? Where is my anxiety stemming from? And then look at your phone and your screen time. And if you have more than 6 hours of screen time on certain apps, and replace it with something. Don't give it up, but I promise you will like your life better. If you enjoy your reality better in the phone, your reality is the ecosystem that you live with on your TikTok and YouTube. The problem is you're watching people, and I mean this to say, like, don't do that. Make that mistake with us. Don't live through other people. Don't watch other people's experiences and miss out on your experience.
Yeah.
Like your experience and it's going to suck to look back at your life and think about all your memories are just you watching people's future memories.
Right. Or current memories. Yeah.
You're living through other people's experiences. And it's like, you could have these experiences, you could do these things, but you have to get up and you have to go do it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to and I think I've seen a lot of people do this where they create a yearly bucket list where they say like, okay, here's 20 things I want to do by the end of this year. It's not like make $500,000. It's like go on a trip, go to a new place I've never been before.
Well, that might help to help
art
pay
class.
for that, though.
You know what? Well, for sure. I'm not talking about like fiscal goals. I'm talking about things that you want to look back on and remember. That actually has been something that's been really hard. Is Kaleb's in law school and I
was cut on.
There's so many Christmas activities I want to do. And he's like, sorry, babe, I got to study. Sorry, babe. And I'm just like,
I need to go to the library right now. So I got to go.
And I'm going to Dallas. I'm super excited. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're excited about these changes. And I have really cool plans for my solo episodes where it just would be a lot more Bible reading, a lot more low key, maybe 30-minute episodes, and where we can just sit down and read the Word of God together. If you are Oklahoma based, I have an event coming up here December 19th. It's a Bible study session. We're going to meet other girls. We're going to journal. We're going to pray. So look out for that on my Instagram, December 19th. And we love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Let us know your thoughts down below and be blessed. God loves you. Jesus is the reason for the season.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.